Dave Valley, Chris Harburg, is Marvin, Marvin's on there, Danielle. Okay,
Yes.
all right. Approve minutes of the previous meeting. Are there any additions or corrections?
I see none, motion to approve it.
If not, they're approved as written. Any visitors? Mike McBride, Craig Gates,
Dee was down there.
he was here.
She's coming back.
Yeah. Okay. Under claims,
We've got one person here, I'm not sure who else would be.
What's the phone number?
0998.
815-213-0998. We have a name on that? Who else is part of the department head?
Is that,
Greg?
hold on. What's the number again, Mike?
815-213-0998.
Greg's on.
Greg Saunders.
I got another one coming in too. 440-5004.
Is that Dave Bowers?
We're good.
Animal control,
Huh? You got it.
okay.
I'm ready. Oh, I gotta read them. City of Dixon, $54.10. Wind City Energy, $62.25. Johnson Oil, $205.21. Verizon, $98.64. ComEd, $121.19. Pitney Bowers, $319.44. And Republic Services, $33.17.
That's for a total of $894.
Animal control,
Next one.
Yep.
For rabies.
that's okay.
Come again?
That was for rabies.
That was for rabies.
Yes.
Oh, okay, you're right.
You want to read one?
I'll just keep doing this, you do that. Amboy Vet Clinic, $530. White Oaks Mobile Vet, $25. Advanced Animal, $40.
That's for a total of $595.
$95.
Dave Bowers. There you go.
No. You can hear that.
I responded to his voice.
Okay, then.
Very threatening.
Home Depot, $7 $776.97.
Huh?
Yeah, but I didn't see it.
I think it's 776.
But you,
Oh.
yeah, make sure you get out of the.
No, I know.
Two of them are combined, $76.94.
CenturyLink, $525.94. Home Depot, $480.25. ComEd, $7,469.81. Holland and Son, $64.87. Cerrone Piping, $2,971.20.
Trying to get.
Home Depot, $80.92. CenturyLink, $1,076.86. Home Elevator, the next thing,
I got ComEd is nice.
you have a Home Elevator in there. It'll stuck together, so you might have to go to the end. ComEd, $24.94. Windy City Energy, $2,455.13. Johnson Supply, $238. Nelson Fire Protection, $742.40. Altoff, $381.56. CenturyLink, $1,498.90. Nightport Gas, $717.52. Home Depot, $88.20. Nightport Gas, $49.95. Altoff for $2,016.34. Home Depot, $117.60. Home Depot, $88.56. Cerrone, $531. ComEd, $442.87. Altoff for $743.30. US Bank, $1,319.30.
You want me to just use my phone and use your house phone?
Check out better. Check out. Home Depot, $172.19. Dixon Water, $1,313.74. Burbeck Communications, $176. ComEd, $15,157.73. Ace Hardware, $204.08.
I can hear them.
IMW, $650. Engel Electric, $292.74.
74?
75, sorry, numbers are hard. Some of these aren't signed. I agree. You should have signed.
I can sign.
Did I sign them?
Or you probably.
You already got it somewhere.
Okay.
I can sign, I'll sign
Okay.
before they get out of here.
Home Depot, $206.16. Aramark, $527.45. Home Depot, $1,771.79. Verizon, $49.32. Home Depot, $3,195.95. Bonells, $3,870.39. Cone, You have one or two home. I had the same thing twice.
This is the first one I have for
Yep.
phone,
For,
like vendor account 6263.
yep, $690.
Okay,
I just, Becky,
Yeah.
there's two of these, one, just one for garbage. It's the same thing twice.
Sure, they're different invoice numbers, not the
They're
same.
exactly the same invoice numbers.
Okay.
Sorry.
All right.
I just got one.
Thank you.
That is it.
I don't know. He had that one whited out here. Well, no, that's in my line. For a total of $49,348.25.
49348, license plate. Sounds good. Yeah. Tony?
Yeah.
Quill, $32.38. US Bank, $807.62.
That's for a total of $840. That's for zoning.
Excuse me, Mike, you got Dave on there, don't you? Dave Bowers?
Yeah.
Okay.
Got it right there. Capital improvement?
There's only one for capital improvement. You can have it, I don't have a cover sheet.
When I talked to Paula, she said that they both go under the same,
They're the same thing, they're the same.
so I'll put that one under that other pay sheet, because there's a capital project coming too now. So I'll put it under the same pay sheet, because it has the same number.
Okay, Henderson, $4,110.68.
You got that?
That it? There's two of them.
Is that for
That one?
capital improvement?
That's that. Capital improvements there.
Capital project.
Brick, electric?
The house,
$86,070.
that's a total of two bills of
Yes. And then you're gonna add you wanna add the 4,110 to that?
Yeah, I'm gonna add it, because it's all under the same number,
Right.
so,
Capital improvements and capital projects, all under the same.
yeah, because I called her and asked her.
That's for telephone.
You want this more
Good.
$1,000?
That considered all capital projects then?
She said it's all going under the same number.
Okay.
You're
From what
gonna
I
have to
understand.
add this number, $4,110.68 to that sheet.
All right.
That means the added divide.
Okay. I could separate two of them right here.
The same account number and everything.
1022 and 1061.
Capital projects can. Not the same.
Well, so when I discussed it with Paula, there's two numbers in there, and she said
Right.
all boil down. So one of them is 2.2 and one of them is 6.1.
Yeah.
But I'll have her come up and explain if you want. She said it all.
Well,
Well, it isn't that big, what do we need to do in the paperwork to,
one's capital improvements and one's capital projects.
Capital improvements is a separate account, it comes out, covers different things. The capital projects, money for the upgrades for the phone and the computers came out of capital projects. Capital improvement probably would have covered something that we were improving and we had.
Let me just see if she's down there.
Yeah, ask her.
Hang on a second.
surprisingly?
We can follow her. Different numbers.
You have the 4,000 and 86.
I don't think you can really add it.
And I can do different sheets.
Okay,
Okay, capital improve, projects is 4,102.
capital projects is 86,000.
Oh, okay. Oh, and you wrote down here.
Yeah, he says that we should be the add
Okay, all right,
They're not on the same sheet, we just don't have the cover sheet.
so
86,000,
that's projects.
that's capital projects for that.
86,000.
Yep.
Capital improvement.
Capital improvements,
4,001.
4,110
Yep.
and 68.
Okay, thank you.
She may be adding them together to make a check. Maybe not two separate accounts, but we're doing two different things. I don't know.
I'll have her.
Paula knows what she's
Yeah, I'll
doing.
have her.
I'm not gonna second guess her if she does it.
Very good one. Paul.
Yeah. That's sure. Insurance.
Insurance, there's only the one invoice for Sauk Valley Insurance, and insurance, for $51.06.
I just read the number and put my name next to it, initials next to it.
You could write that fast and talk that fast?
Yes.
$51.06.
I write it as I talk.
Okay. Now I'll make that. You got a couple minutes, you're gonna get a whole chapter.
What's the revenue for lots?
We're in the last now? Oh, that's all we got left?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
Huh? What are you trying to say?
Lots,
Okay.
Patricia McQuality, $10.
He's on the phone right there, Dee, so that's all that's picking up.
Arc of Winnebago, $40. Tri-County Opportunities, $98. Lee County Treasurer, $720.56. Lee County Treasurer, $12,000. Sauk Valley Community College, $200. And State of Illinois. That's a good number. They put Condon in there. $170,346.13.
That comes up for a total of $172,614.69.
That's regular claims.
That's right.
That's revenue. Last revenue.
Well,
Don't believe
I've
that's
I've
on,
got capital improvements or,
that's not on that sheet.
okay, so I did
The
that.
revenue, is it? You had lots of claims somewhere. or-
Yeah, you've got claims.
You're right, but right. You gotta read them.
You got claims?
First one I got is East Hardwood.
Huh?
First one I had is East Hardwood.
Yep. I'm ready.
Ace Hardware, $177.67. CenturyLink, $16.86. City of Dixon, $75.13. I know, right? Comcast, $455.45. Comcast, $909.96. ComEd, $767.77. Pelican, $29.86. DC Computers, $89. DC Computers, $4,424.93. DC Computers, $367.49. Dixon Ford, $879.94. Effective TV, $1,674.50. Farley's, $835.79. Foxstar, $1,350. No cents. Hughes, $33,041.95. Jack's Tire, $690.96. Leaf, $204.02. Lee County Treasurer, $920, no cents. Lee County Treasurer, $374, no cents. Napa, $956.58. Ogle County Life, $349, no cents. Pest Control, $55, no cents. Procom, $120, no cents. Public Services, $91.33. Sauk Valley Media, $1,273, no cents. US Bank, $1,040.34. Next one, Verizon, Dave.
Verizon, correct.
Just wanted to make sure that's good. Verizon Wireless, $2,071.42. WEX, $8,122.52. Green City Energy, $99.40. WRHL, $785, no cents. WIXN, $1,235, no cents.
A total for claims, $63,483.87.
63,400 what?
$483.87. Now, there was one more in with the claims, Morningstar Media Group. It was not with the other one.
It should be melted together, Chris. Should be put together with that one, so we still at the bottom.
They weren't added together in any of the,
Two of those three costs on that separate sheets from Morningstar for two of the ground roads. And then $14,000 for the department for a lot. You have a Morningstar on your sheet?
no,
Okay, so we need to put 52,000 on the sheet, there's, okay,
we need to add it to the sheet.
that's how it should be. $52,007.08.
2,000.
Can I interrupt for a second? It's Terry.
Hi, Terry.
Hi, I have to go, so does anybody have any questions for me?
No.
My claim's pretty simple.
I'm good.
Questions?
Thank you.
Any for me? I have to go, Bill.
Okay, no questions. Thank you.
Okay, thanks.
Yes, Greg? Is that Greg?
Marvin.
Marvin. Oh,
Hi, Marvin. Hi. Hi, Charlie.
Hey, how you doing?
Chris blocked you out. I didn't even know you were here.
I know.
you just call him Fat Bill?
He's a good goer.
That makes a total with the Morningstar claims for $115,000, $490.95. Long hand there.
That's enough. Have a motion, pay claims,
I'll make a motion.
I can second it.
all in favor?
Aye.
Hi.
I couldn't hear the motion.
Pay the claims,
Pay the
Marvin.
claims. We're gonna pay the claims. The vote was unanimous.
Can you speak louder? Because I'm on the phone and I can't hardly hear you. If I mute my phone,
Move.
I can put it on loud, I can hear you. But I think it just should be. I just got a call on my cell phone. Use my phone, my own phone.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay. We voted on claims.
Okay. Look out for that. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Send a sheet now. Send that sheet.
Yeah.
It's right there. to your left.
Okay, department head reports. Building and maintenance. Is Greg on the line?
Should be. Greg, you there?
Greg? Hello, Greg. We'll get back to him.
Trying to unmute him, but
Planning and zoning.
Are you unmuting him?
trying to.
We'll get back to him.
Me?
Yep,
Exciting things are happening in the zoning world. The Stewart Creek solar petition hearings finished up last Tuesday with a recommendation coming from the Zoning Board of Appeals. The recommendation will be in the county board packet for the board to vote on next Thursday. The county's first community solar farm will be starting construction at the end of this month. This will be a 20-acre solar project located near Pawpaw. There'll be 3 petitions coming before the zoning board next month. 20P 1556, the Pipers are wanting a special use zone to establish a farmer's market at their farm. 20P 1557, Big Sky Repower will again be petitioning the county, although Big Sky petitioned last year, it was approved to repower, but since then they have upgraded their technology and want to change the model of the turbine from 2.1 and 2.3 megawatts to 2.7 megawatt nacelle. Also petitioning will be 20P 1558 South Dixon Solar for a 500 megawatt, approximately 3,850 acre solar project in, you guessed it, South Dixon Township. So all 3 petitions will be coming before you coming to the zoning board in December. I placed my assistant's job ad in the Telegraph and on Indeed. Job applications will be due this Friday, and I have not received much of a response. The zoning office is moving. The coroner has graciously agreed to have the zoning office move into his area on the 3rd floor. The maintenance crew have been tirelessly working at removing walls, installing new carpet, and overall keeping me happy. Thanks, guys. And that's all I have, unless you have something for me.
I see the planning commission met, and there seems to be like the biggest change is some major setbacks in the,
So the planning commission hasn't met. The zoning board of appeals have met. Planning commission met last January,
all right. So it's zoning board of appeals.
okay?
Who does that consist of?
5 zoning members.
Okay. And so they came up with the change and the recommendations, and like I say, one of the biggest things I see is major setbacks rather than,
They looked at the proposed amendments to the ordinance. Several other people have too, and that's some of the things that they came up with. So previously, the zoning officer wrote the solar ordinance, and it was mainly for these community solar projects, not realizing that these large utility companies would be coming to Lee County. So now, going through a few of these utility petitions, there's been comments on few areas of the ordinance that needs to be amended, and that's why we're trying to make those amendments now.
It'll be coming up November, but it's an ordinance, gets laid on the table. Will not affect Stewart Creek or South
I didn't
Dixon.
hear a word you just said.
There's nothing we can do, Marvin.
That's solar power, the amendments to the solar power, will be coming up in November meeting, just to be laid on the table and for discussion in December. It will not affect Stewart Creek or South Dixon Township, because they have already applied, and actually Stewart Creek's been approved, so.
Not yet.
Well,
Not yet.
South Dixon.
by the zoning board.
Are you having trouble with me on my speaker?
We can always hear you, Marvin. We can hear you.
I can't hear
just hand it around.
Well, we'll do our best.
So is Dave Bowers here that he can,
He's on the line. And Greg is not muted on his end, so I don't know what the problem is.
No, Greg's still muted. We'll talk about it at 7:08.
Yeah, we'll get,
Well, I thought you wanted his report.
No.
well, we'll get back to it. Is
that all you got?
now?
Greg,
Is
does
that all
he
you
have?
Greg, are you there?
want any more?
Killed it.
Hello, Greg.
Well,
I don't.
No, he's not.
Yeah.
Really?
Put it on phone.
You call him?
he's on and he's not muted on his end.
I can't unmute him.
Yeah.
Now we'll get back to it. Animal control, will take care of that.
And lots is going.
Lots. Lots is gone.
I think he got a phone call.
Carrie's on. line.
Carrie's there.
He gave me one of these.
Greg got a phone
He's on the phone.
Okay, all right.
Greg's just gonna wanna talk about the resolution for the lots.
Becky, can you text him?
Text Greg,
Or the-
that Greg, other Greg that I'm thinking.
Or Greg Saunders.
song?
Yeah, I just did. He's on the line and he's not muted on his end. So he doesn't know why he can't hear.
Mike, can you try to unmute yourself for us?
Can you hear me?
We can hear you, so it's not on our end. Thank you.
Terry was. Have him
Go out.
walk, come back in.
Oh, yeah, them.
Who? Oh, yes, Greg, lots.
Department report.
Yeah, your report.
Okay. I will just go over a quick summary of the report in front of you. Basically, I think what is on the agenda also is that resolution for the formation of a mass transit district. We can talk about that later, or we can talk about that now, but it is outlined what that resolution would look like in terms of formatting, basically the right mass transit district. Recent updates, we did a right to vote campaign. I hope to actually have a summary sheet, but I did not get that from my marketing partner, so I will forward that along at a later time. We do have a new agreement with Burlington Trailways, and basically, the long and short of it is, just like with Greyhound, they can't get money dispersed to them unless they work with the 5311F, which is what we receive locally, as well as 5311 funding, basically for rural providers of public transit. We were approached by IDOT because Burlington Trailways was close to probably leaving the state of Illinois with any type of service unless they were able to actually receive some emergency relief CARES funding from IDOT. So as you can see there's just a little over 2.1 million that IDOT says they will give to them for some emergency relief funding. Basically, we're just helping them secure that through an administrative arrangement similar to Greyhound. We do have our single transportation audit swiftly coming out November 30th currently through December 4th. That has not been finalized, but it looks as though it's going to be that first week of December. Our work on the canopy is continuing. I would highly suggest or recommend that if you get a chance to step out and look at the progress on that project, feel free to do so. They're currently working on the basis of the canopy, where they're putting some stone around the base of those structures. Right now, our target date is to be completed by December 18th. Still waiting to hear back to the final word from IDOT on our rebuild proposal for some capital funding. We are still in the 800s for rides provided. Last week we did 817 rides versus 1,606 rides the previous year. And unless there's any questions, that is my report.
Any questions? Thank you, Greg. And old business. Food pantry fire alarm system update. Greg back on the line? Hey, Greg.
Never got out.
Okay. Permanent sneeze guard door installation,
Mayor.
treasurer's office. Okay,
On the sneeze guard, there's been a couple glitches just because of countertop installation at the assessor and treasurer's office. But that's being handled expeditiously.
okay. And nothing on the grant application for the. You hear me now? Long road.
You're hearing now.
Oh, you're gonna have to shut your mouth.
No, it's him, he was back feeding and.
No, somebody following, yeah.
Oh, that's mine. That's Marvin.
Marvin?
Is he still on there?
Yeah.
He's still on there, but somebody else is trying to call you, in, probably.
Yeah. Must be somewhere else, but I'm still on the home phone.
Hi, you got it.
I did it over there.
I put him here because that microphone.
Walter.
Yeah, he's not here.
Let's not take you to a time.
That's a long one.
Welcome, you have a report for us?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
For department head reports, I just wanted to say I'm still working through a lot of vacations for the end of the year, since we're without all the help, till midway through the year, so everybody held off their vacations till the end, so we're working through that. Pretty much everything else you guys got covered in old and new business, so we'll go over that. Food pantry fire alarm. No, we do not have, that installed yet. We've just been too busy with all the remodeling going on to get to that yet. Permanent sneeze guard, indoor and door installation. The Wendy's area, I talked to Dixon Glass, they are going to, there's a glass shortage, of course, so they're thinking that the glass will be here maybe the 23rd of November. So, that, to get the money out for this budget, this year's budget for that, Dave was willing to sign a paid receipt so that we could pull that out of, this year's budget if we wanted to. And I have the total amounts, but I'm not sure if I brought them because I had everything scattered all over my desk. So, I mean, if we want to do that and still get it in this, he was nice enough to give us a paid receipt on both, so we can still maybe turn it in for this year. I just have to do it in paid vacation now, and at least we get it paid off of this year's budget. I guess whoever's next on the LEC demo site prep.
We can talk about it.
You did? Okay. That's probably when I was jogging. I I just received carpet prices for, the courtroom, Klein's courtroom in the new courthouse. And, also prices for, trying to figure a different area. No, it was Kathy's area and the pit area and, Paula's area. I don't have them right now. Oh, maybe I do. Yes, I do. For the election department in Kathy's area, the price was $3,100 even to tear out the old and put new carpet in. It's modular tile, it's the squares carpeting that you figured to put in there. For the pit, which is outside of Wendy's area, that's gonna be transformed into a conference room. That carpet for that was $1,290. The treasurer's office was $6,260. Clerk's office was $7,400. And the courtroom was $2,825. So I know he had some of this budgeted for this year and some of the carpet was budgeted for next year. So we could probably divide that out. I think the old courthouse he had figured for this year come out, so. But I think they only had like a $10,000 budget for carpet in there, and I think we're gonna exceed that in the old courts building. So we might have to pick and choose which one, and I mean, we're gonna do it fairly soon to get it in this year's budget yet. Pick and choose which ones we wanna actually do and out of this budget and, get it in for PIVs.
It looks like you can kind of do the treasurer in the election department. It looks like you're doing the treasurer in the election department
Yes,
for 10,000, and then the next year, it'll be pretty damn close to the pit and the clerk.
Yep.
For another 10.
Yep.
For this building. Is that what you were kind of thinking?
yeah. I was gonna try to get the two that we could get the closest to the 10,000 for this year.
Closest without going over.
Right.
They've stuck it in on the capital, for both years.
Yeah,
Yes.
I think,
What two were we going with?
the election department and the treasurer's area. Right? Is that what you're thinking?
Right.
Okay. And then probably pushing the pit and the clerk to early next year, correct?
Right. And, I mean, once we get into the next fiscal year, which is just minimal, so.
Right.
Because we're gonna be tearing some walls out in the pit. We're gonna make that glassed in area that they use for voting or for paying taxes during COVID. That wall's coming out.
So that'll be the extra.
And we're gonna open that up and then we're gonna box in our entryway for where our maintenance room is. So that'll be a conference room for there. So once we get that demo done and that done, then we can get carpet in there for off the next year's budget.
Sense to me. Everybody's money.
Anything else, Greg?
Nothing else there. I don't know how far you got down through new business.
We haven't got there yet.
Okay. Cause I had the carpet price updates there and the state's attorney high density fire system installation week. Our file system, that is the 16th of this month is the last I heard that was gonna be started to get put in. So That's the last update I had on that.
Okay.
E and F, right?
ADS maintenance contract, I think you have it in your packets. They sent me a new maintenance contract. They wanted to know if we wanted to sign. It is an addendum to the 2004 contract. The 2004 contract was 191, let me grab it here. I had to have them send me the 2004 contract because I did not have a copy of it. The 2004 contract was $191 a month, and it covers everything in that square box down below.
We don't have a copy of it.
Oh, you don't have a copy of
It
it?
should be in that second page of the packet.
Everything was together. Security system, with lots. Back lots,
Yeah.
part of the lot. I'll take you.
You should see an older looking contract in there like that, and it'll say 191 on it.
It might be.
And then it'll have a list of the things that it covers down below it. Now, I don't know if this contract, I know it was signed in 2004, but I don't know if there was a previous contract ahead of that and they just continued it, because the 2004 contract only has just a few items on it. The new contract, which is on one of the other pages there, has a lot more existing smoke detectors and duct detectors and everything else, so I don't know where that fell in between where the addition was put on and where we, were before. So maybe none of that was, I'm just guessing because I wasn't here then, so, but maybe that wasn't changed after the new addition, I don't know. But we haven't had a lot of trouble with the electronics part of the fire system. So me and Dave had a discussion that maybe we would not do the the newer maintenance contract. It's an addition to the one we're already on right now. Since I've been there, we've never had an issue with anything as far as maintenance on it. We've had issues of setting them off and then having to get the unit reset. They had a programming problem when we were doing construction on 3rd floor. And when they shut the water off, it's only supposed to signal the panel, and it was signaling the whole building with strobes and everything. So we called them in and had them reprogram that so that it doesn't do that.
But it would go to $316 a month.
It would be more than that. It would be $316 plus the $191.
Oh, really? Okay.
So you're talking
$500.
$500 a month. And with what little bit of trouble we've had, I talked to Dave about it. I think if it's me, I'd take the chance on it. Because we just haven't had any trouble with it. It's $290 an hour if they have to come out.
That versus $6,000 a year.
You can buy a lot of $290 an hour for the $6,000 a year.
Chances are they can fix it within their service call rate.
Right.
And well, we had trouble resetting one. One of our maintenance guys took one apart and pinched some wires. I called tech support on ADS. They walked me through what to do. We went back up, found the problem, reset the panel. We didn't have to call them out. So probably that we could get right from tech support and do it in-house and save ourselves a lot of money.
Yeah, Mark.
Yeah, I gotta sign out mine. I'll be right to see you now.
Okay, good, bud.
Okay, take care.
Okay.
See you, Marvin.
Bye.
But I'll leave it up to the board to decide on that one, but that's just my opinion. I think that's a lot of money for.
You need a motion from us then to,
Yes, I need a motion so that whether we're gonna do it or not, so that I can get back to them and say, we're just gonna stick with the original contract for now.
You got tech support, would you still have tech support even if we didn't have
Yes.
this?
Because we don't have it right now, and I still have tech support through them, through the original contract, but I wanna do some back checking. I haven't had time to do some back checking because of this old contract that we have from 2004. I wanna see when that expires, and maybe we can check for competitive pricing also on that.
Ray, Mike Copine here, I have a question for you.
Go ahead.
Is this the service agreement that the sheriff was talking about to go for at least a 12-month period of time rather than 2 or 3 years?
No,
Or am I looking at something different?
this is a separate one completely. This is just for the new courts building only.
This is Danielle. I have a question. I thought at the last meeting, we had talked about looking at consolidating under one contract for everybody. It seemed like multiple departments had a contract with them.
That's
To see if
true.
the pricing would be better.
Yes, and I think that's what we should do is consolidate the jail. New jail has a different company than what we have. And, it would be nice, that's why I'd like to find out what the terms are on this 2004 contract, whether we can go ahead and look at other options and we're not locked in with them. I have to find out how long we're locked in with them and whether we can change or not, penalties.
So they're talking a 60-month agreement on this right here, 60-month contract, however you want to put it.
For the new one, are you talking, the $316 a month?
Well, there's 316.62, and then on another page, there's 191.
Yeah, the other page, the 191 is the old contract back in 2004 that Chris Hinkle signed.
Mike's referring to, right underneath that 316 bottom inch, refers to the period of 60 months.
Oh, okay.
Well, I've got the date of December 20th, 2004 on the page that says 60 months for the term of the contract at 316.62 per month.
Right. So we could be that we will be eligible to go to another company without getting penalized because if it's 60 months, we're past that time period.
This
For
was
that contract.
Right.
And that was an addendum.
I'll make a motion that we don't renew contract.
I second.
We'll keep the contract we have now, but we won't have this addendum attached yet till I get more information on my end and get some pricing, then I can bring it in front of the board and we can go from there and make another decision, whether we stay with ADS or go with a different option.
Okay. Want to repeat the motion?
Hold on.
So is the motion to to leave the current contract and not renew the?
Correct.
Okay, there's a motion over here, second. Okay. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Against? Motion carried.
Okay, we have a new scrubber update. We had to bring in and demonstrate the scrubber that I brought before the board last month. And janitorial ladies didn't think that it was heavy enough built. So we went to the next option up, which was, that one was $2,650, and the next option up, which was more of a commercial unit than the small one, was $3,195. And so we went ahead and ordered that scrubber, because it's a heavier duty, and I have enough money in my budget to cover that. So we have that on order right now. New salt spreader for the plow truck. We, for years, walked behind a push spreader for the big parking lot south of the new courts building. It's pretty risky with a guy on the ice and everything pushing a salt spreader and having to fill it up every 10 minutes. So we we had enough money in our budget for that also, so we ended up buying a new one. It's on order. Holds 800 pounds of salt. It's electronically cold controlled from the truck itself. You can adjust the width of the spray. It has a vibrator in it, so it busts up any chunks that's in it. Variable speed. It has a lot of options on it. It's all plastic. We can be by utilizing that. We can also talk to the highway department. They have no problem with us going and loading that truck up with their salt storage that they have, which would be considerably a lot cheaper than buying bags of it from the Ace Hardware. And all we have to do is keep track of how many times we fill it, and then we'll have to reimburse the highway department on what we use. So we're sort of saving money on that and actually saving a workman's comp claim or something if somebody would happen to slip and fall out there. And plus time savings besides.
What's the cost of the spreader?
The spreader was $3,800.
All in your budget.
Yes. I have a lot of money left over in my budget that I'd like to utilize it in things I really need.
Well, it should be forward.
Sounds like a good one. Good.
Next thing is H, cross training. I'd like to do some cross training for a couple of women that's already employed through the county. With this COVID going on, if I happen to get sick or anything, there's nobody that knows the payroll or the duties of doing the claim sheets and entering the billing and stuff in the computer. I'd like to cross train a couple of people, so if I'm sick or one of them's on vacation, I'll have enough reserve that somebody should be here that'll be able to do it. I just thought it would be a good thing because you never know with this COVID, who's gonna get sick and who isn't, so.
Yeah, when you get in issues of payroll, they become a security or a privacy issue sometimes.
I don't think it's going to with the new system they got. Because the new system is gonna be, basically, we turn in our timesheets to Paula. Paula does everything. The old system, yes, I agree. It could be, and I always, till now, I always check and sign. So I have to go through it and I make sure everything's entered correctly and there's no fraudulent in there and I sign it. Now it's just, we turn in our timesheets to Paula instead of them turning them to me. I just set up a program in my computer where we can do that all digitally. So we can fill out everybody's timesheet on the computer and send it right to Paula. I don't have to actually carry it over to her office. Makes it a lot easier because then she can just pull it up and do her thing on it. Yeah, I agree with you on that part of it, but now we have the new system and we had a meeting on that the other day with Paula. And I think it's gonna work out great for my benefit because it's gonna take a lot less load off. I mean, trying to keep track of the comp time and all that is just really time consuming.
Paula has installed a new system, and she did have meetings with virtually all the department heads over last week and really explained it well. It's simplified for everybody. She really upgraded a whole lot of features on that payroll.
It's gonna work nice.
Well, that's being proactive. Okay.
That's all I have.
Anything else? No. Any other questions for Greg? Thank you.
Yep.
And from the zoning board petitions,
Hold on, we got the mass transit
what do we got?
from Greg, the mass transit, letter D on new business. Did you finish over? Yes.
Old business.
I don't remember that.
Emergency Operations Center?
Under D in old business, Bill.
Yeah, emergency operations.
If you haven't had a
Third floor.
chance to go over and see the new EOC, it's phenomenal. Everything we need costs a little bit, but it is one of those things where we were able to pull out COVID money
Yeah.
And got it done, and they're working on some of the technology over there right now. Aside from that, I think, Charlie, if you're not, you can comment on it as much as I am, you're right across the hall, but it really looks very nice.
Yeah, they did a great job on it.
It's gonna work out well, they did a great job. There's a few little punch list items gotta be taken care of, but other than that, he's good to go.
Is the furniture in there yet? I hadn't seen any
He's got
furniture yet.
tables and chairs, he's moved his desk back up there, he's got a conference table. He's got a little area, probably 12 by 15 or 16, where he's got a smaller breakout room and his own computers and stuff, and that's got a glass door, so he can see what's going on out there in case there is a meeting of some sort out there. Did a great job. Put in a nice little restroom and a lunch counter, a smaller lunch counter, things like that. It'll be well used by not only the EOC, but I think it can be used for a few other items. That's it.
Good, thank you. Okay, well, under E there, we got LAN and VoIP upgrade.
I think Becky passed out the upgrades for that. And that came in substantially higher. I think you maybe got it all.
This would be the,
Yeah,
yeah,
this is the-
Yeah, updated main boardroom audio visual system flow.
right.
Originally, when we were talking with Fissick on working on this, Dave and I suggested that it might be wise to get a bid. Young man we were chatting with said, oh, that's not too big a deal, gonna come to $10,000-12,000. Well, unfortunately, if you look at the bottom line, it's $112,000. And I don't know what anybody else thinks, because this is a committee that will handle it. But it just seems like an awful lot of money at this particular point in time. Now, what we can do is there probably will be another round of COVID money coming down the pipe. And we can reserve this. I texted Dave this morning, and I don't know if he's on the line and wants to speak, but he basically said, at this point, no, but wait and resubmit it later on down the line. So Mike told me yesterday that between him and Zach, they got the courtroom, the technology upgrades in there, so everything can be used better with the mics and everything. Mike, that's what you.
Yeah.
Yeah, just a vast improvement over what we had previous months.
Yeah, at the zoning meetings, the last two, we were able to utilize the microphones a little bit better into the Zoom meeting, into the YouTube meeting. So yeah, that was set up that way, so.
But I think Dave forwarded all this to you for your perusal, and I don't think he's pushing.
So that wasn't the land and void, so was it? Did we cover?
No.
No.
That's happening right
That was a
now.
proposal for the video conferencing equipment for the boardroom and subcommittee.
We just paid for it, had it in bills, so.
Yeah, that was the 83 something that they just paid. I don't think so. Just let it set. I think he wants to, yeah, they're not gonna do it. Is Dave on the line? Dave, are you there?
That should be.
Are you on the line, Dave?
Same problem with Craig.
Yeah.
But it's because he was.
Yeah, and I don't think he'll run up here
Yeah.
as quick as Craig did.
Yeah, that's why we couldn't hear you, but.
I had my mute off there and it said push star 26 if you don't want to unmute from here. I pushed that and I still couldn't unmute. Try going.
I think a Wi-Fi upgrade would be good for the courthouse, for everything. You can even Zoom within, or, bring your own laptop in and look at stuff.
Okay. Moving right along.
I see something on new business that we missed on B, of 7D.
Okay.
The GIS department relocation, that is complete. You guys did it in-house and we patched the plaster and, repainted the rooms.
and moved all the equipment back in that she needed so far. And I think it's one of the rooms right now is being used. So that project is complete for that. We're gonna do the pit, remodel after we get done with the zoning room. We're tearing out walls and changing the configuration in the zoning room a little bit, and, we got carpet on order for that, which is coming out of my budget also. Any of the repairs that we did in GIS I'm taking that out of my budget for this building. And also any of the model in D's area will be coming out of my budget also for the old course building.
Don't be so modest, Greg.
I'm just,
You did an exceptional job down in where they moved the GIS, and Carmen is set and ready to pretty much go. And Tom is in the process of getting there. He wanted to build his woodworker, he wanted to build his own desk to go down into his room, new room. They changed what was the conference room for the assessor's office into an area where they can lay out their maps, and they will have a big copier down in there, and then the pit, as Greg said, is gonna be converted into the meeting room that they will have for assessment and also for board review. It's gonna work out wonderful. It's all real nice and tight and all right there.
that's all I have.
I think Dave is just texted me and said, I am here. Just having issues in muting.
That's what I had too. Oh,
Dave Bowers.
yeah. Oh, he's trying to beat the hurricane, I think. Dave, are you there?
He's still muted. He just does such a good job. I don't want to leave him out of the loop when it comes to explaining what he wants.
No.
Yeah. Can you hear us?
I can hear you. You can
You can hear us. Okay.
Well, I mean, if anything, have them, get out and then call somebody. You have something to say. Everybody else can unmute, I guess.
Okay.
Well, is there any other topics to be discussed?
There, did you guys go over the fiber and the land update? Was that on the
You
agenda?
want to do that, Mike? You
Go
were.
ahead, Mike.
I'll just tell you where we're at with it. So the fiber connections, that were run in the new courts building are completed. I think at the last meeting, you would have said that the old courthouse Ethernet runs are completed as well. The fiber connections from ETSB to the new courts, from the new courts to the old courthouse are in progress. We met last week in regards to the fiber run from 911 to the new courts building, established a route that they're gonna go through. And then into this building, they are coming from, I don't know if you've seen them, there's markings over there in the corner of the road. They're gonna come in and come into the back way of the computer room or the election area. That's almost completed there, but I think he said he'd get in touch with me sometime this week to make an appointment for maybe next week or the week after to run the rest of the fiber. And then the switches or the LAN network upgrade, he's talked to me and they're putting out a plan to get that configured for the switches and whatnot so that when they come in, they'll just install them in every area. So we did a walkthrough Friday on that as well. So that's where we're at. The next portion of that is the porting of the phone numbers. We'll have to send out an email to all the department heads to get phone numbers that will be ported from CenturyLink over to our new voice service. That's probably going to be the major hurdle, is trying to get numbers ported. We ran into that issue at the LEC, but we have to basically move every phone number that's part of Lee County from CenturyLink service to a new service. And sometimes they don't like to let go of those numbers, so. So I don't know if that's what Dave had in mind, but it's kind of an update.
He said he could hear fine, but he just can't.
I just texted him, if he wants to speak, he can call me, I'll put him up on speaker. If he wants to do it.
Okay, anything else, Mike?
I'm good there. Thanks.
All right, any other topics we haven't touched on?
We have the solar ordinance.
So are we through new business or are
No,
we
we jumped around to new business. We have
Yeah.
A,
kind of skipping around?
I, J, K, L. Solar ordinance.
Solar ordinance?
I'll make a motion to move it to executive, right?
Right.
I'll
Motion,
second that.
motion and second, all those in favor?
But discussion.
A discussion, pardon me.
It's pretty self-explanatory if you looked at it.
Yeah.
It's just trying, per what Dee said, trying to take it up to a large scale project rather than these small
Right.
projects, so
All in favor?
I,
Aye. Those opposed? Motion carried. What else do we have?
I'll make a motion to move the Reagan Mass Transit District to executive.
I'll second
Discussion.
Any discussion?
This takes it off of Lee County's
Yes.
books essentially.
it. Right.
Greg and I had a meeting, we're hoping June 21. Is the, at least we can, it's best case scenario, otherwise it'll be June 22. At fiscal year, that's what we're looking at, not doing it in the middle, but this gets it at least on book, so that way when we're ready to full trip core,
Right,
we can do that.
It's really a big improvement
it is.
from a financial standpoint.
It'll be better for us, it'll be very good for Old County, and then the pipeline, as we talked about, so.
Right. Okay, any other discussion?
It's a resolution that I think we've advocated that it be held over so people can ask questions during November and then actually voting upon in December. This resolution also has to be approved by the Ogle County Board since they're a part and parcel.
Okay, so we're moving to,
So my recommendation was move it to executive, move it to county board, and hold it over for 30 days. Not that we need to, but that way all board members will have a chance to ask any questions to Greg, specifically on what it looks like. So we don't necessarily need to next week, but that was my recommendation that we did. Because we're not in a time,
No.
It's under normal circumstances, we don't hold over resolution, but this is the thing, this is what we should do. It gives us all, like you say, a chance to talk about it.
any more discussion? All those in favor?
I,
Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. Okay, anything else?
Three zoning ordinances.
I need the Stewart Creek that's
I'll
coming.
make a motion to send Seward Creek to executive.
Second.
Discussion? All in favor?
I,
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carried.
make a motion to send the P556 to executive as well, or does that go to executive? Yes.
To zoning board.
To executive, and they'll send it to zoning.
Okay.
They said
Okay.
the county board and we said it was zoning.
It is seconded.
Yeah.
Did I hear a second?
I second it, yeah.
Okay.
All right, any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
I,
One opposed?
No, you said aye.
Oh.
Make a motion to send.
Motion carried.
Oh, sorry. I'll make a motion to send petition 1557 Big Sky Repower to executive.
Second.
Discussion? All those in favor of the motion?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carried.
I'll make a motion to send petition 1558 South Dixon Solar to executive.
Second.
Discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carried.
Executive.
Any executive? Nothing? Okay. All those in motion?
Make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
We are adjourned. Thank you.
Thank you.
Now I
had a catering for 4 days. I had source nothing really until towards the end. So I got tested.
You're getting old, that's the reason.